Hi, I'm Tim, and we're going to be discussing the MEDIKORS InAlyzer today. It's a dual energy X-ray machine, also called a DXA, for studying small animals. So MEDIKORS started, I believe, in 2014 in Korea, and they started out from a separate company that they moved on from to specifically focus on DXA machines and that technology so that they could really move this field forward. It actually comes in two different models. There's the type S, which is specifically for mice, and then there's the M, which is for both mice, rats. You can study small rabbits or guinea pigs. DXA is a technique that does dual energy X-ray. It allows you to get two different X-rays, subtract them, and then you can see body composition. This technique originally was used for bone quality, osteoporosis, things like that. That was the big driver for DXA back in maybe 10, 15 years ago. Since then, it's really gotten into the body composition, and it's been used a lot with that. The other way to do this, if you don't have a DXA machine, is you actually have to sacrifice the animal. So you'll do your treatments, and you'll have to have more animals, so you'll have to have a larger study group. And then you'll have to sacrifice the animals along the way to do destructive techniques, either chemical analysis or histology, where you're physically cutting slices out of the animal and putting them under microscopes. And those things can take days to weeks to do. Whereas this, again, it takes just a couple minutes. So you can study the same animal, so you can see the effects through the same animal. You can study less animals. You can have less animals in your study, so it's more cost effective that way. We actually approached several companies to make this for us, and they tried. They were more radiograph companies, so they made 2D X-ray systems that they tried to convert into a DXA machine, and they didn't have the calculations to be able to do that. So InAlyzer and MEDIKORS was the first one that we saw that really dedicated themselves to making a DXA machine for small animals. So here we have the InAlyzer, and the great thing about this is it's a fully shielded system, so we can be standing next to it while we do the scans, and we're completely safe doing so. We just push the door and opens up our sample chamber, and here is where we have the paper that will switch out between scans. We put our sample in, so the mouse can go either head to foot or head to foot. There is a port here to allow for an anesthesia tube to come in so that the animal can remain under during the entire scan. So the InAlyzer is great in that the system that it replaced was slow and unshielded. So this system, you can get results quickly. It can scan anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. There's an X-ray source on top. The X-rays pass through the animal, which is encased here, and it goes down to the detector, which is on the bottom. It's a linear detector, so what we do is it starts here, goes over, scans the animal, comes back, changes energy, and does it again. And once it's done, we can open the door and take it out and move on to the next animal. So over the lifetime of the animal, we can scan the animal several times and track the physical changes in the animal, either to fat content in the animal or the bone quality. And you can do that with the same animal multiple times, so it reduces the amount of animals you need for a study. Rather than having to sacrifice animals at certain time periods, all we do is put it under anesthesia, put it in, scan it, and we get those results anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes. So for safety, as I mentioned, it's a fully encased system, so there is lead behind these doors, lead throughout. There are interlocks so that if the door is open, the X-ray source cannot turn on. It physically disconnects. There is an emergency stop here, a status window to tell you when it's ready to scan, when the X-rays are on. And then for the anesthesia, it goes through the side, and there's a lead, like basically an L or an S shape that it has to go through so that the X-rays cannot pass outside the system. We then just close the door, and we're ready to scan at this point. So the InAlyzer uses a Windows-based software, and you easily can move from your scan window to your results window. It also allows the researchers to do regions of interest. So you can select a certain region, you can select the whole animal, or you can just select specific regions so that if you're interested in the head or the spine, it automatically calculates the data for you, and it's easy to export it out. So you can quickly put it into a results tab or into your research papers. To learn more information, you can go to medikors.com or microphotonics.com if you're in the United States. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video today. Hopefully you learned more about the InAlyzer and what it can do for your research.